So Google sent over the new Pixel 10 Pro Fold, and I'm pretty excited to mess with this. I've been driving the Z Fold 5 for quite some time now, off and on with some different Pixels. So I've definitely been in the folding camp. So yeah, let's hop in the box and see what this thing's about. So we've got the moonstone color here. This is kind of the new color this year. Last year it was hazel. I really liked hazel. I like moonstone in the Pixel 10 Pro XL. This is a 256 gig model, and ultimately, I don't think there's a ton of difference physically between this and last year's Pro Fold, and I like that device quite a bit. But like I said, I've been using the Z Fold 5 a lot of late. I just kind of got back in that fold mentality. I switched over to the 12 Pro, or the 10 Pro. I keep saying 12 for some reason. I switched over to the 10 Pro, Pixel 10 Pro XL for a little bit of time, and just really missed the foldable form factor. So I was kind of excited in this version of the Pixel phone lineup to really try the fold out again this time around. In the box, there's not a whole lot. Obviously, this thing is super duper thin. Your basic stuff that no one reads. Terms and conditions, a SIM card, ejector tool, which means we actually have a SIM card slot on this one, unlike the other Pixels that don't have an actual physical SIM card slot. Because of moving over to the Pixel 10, I've foregone my physical SIM card, so I'll have to do the eSIM transfer. But then you get the charging cable here in the box, and that is it. And that's just the way of things here in 2025. But this is what you're all really here for anyway, right? Peel this bad boy back. Oh man, that moonstone looks so good. Gosh, I love that colorway. And again, I know the Z Fold 7 that Samsung just put out is crazy thin. I've handled a couple people that have them. I've held them in my hands and been like, man, that's wild thin. This is wildly thin, and just a good looking. Look at that. Just a good looking device overall. I'm curious. Yeah, so I can set this thing down on the table and it doesn't wobble. My Z Fold, and I'd say the 6 is the same way, the cameras are the same way, and the Z Fold 7 is the same way as well. So without a case, I mean, this thing's an absolute wobble monster. Now, granted, I always keep a case on mine, and as soon as Google sends me the case for this one, I'll have it on it as well. But what you get in the Pixel 10 Pro Fold is a return to something more similar to a standard smartphone size when you're holding it when it's not open. So let me pull in the, this is the Pixel 10 Pro, which is what Joe is using right now. And you can see next to each other, the physical size of these devices, very, very similar when this one's closed up. So the benefit here is you get a device that when you pull it out of your pocket, and I mean, let me just hold the weight here, let me feel. Incredibly similar in weight too. So when you pull it out of your pocket, your first thought isn't I'm carrying around a small tablet. It feels like a phone. Now, granted, you have the squared off edges here and here, obviously, that you need for the interior screen. But overall, when you pull it out, the size, the width, I mean, it's probably not fair with this one having a case on, but you can see, I mean, the width is very, very similar. This is going to be obviously the Pixel 10 Pro is going to be a little bit thinner, but with a case on it and stuff, like this thing just feels excellent in the hand. The nice squared off edges, and man, that color is just something else. I'll be kind of sad to put a case on this, to be honest with you, but you got a fingerprint scanner on the side, volume rocker, the Pixel camera layout here, and front facing camera, and then your 6.3 inch screen on the front. And you open this thing up and you're opened up into a nice, almost square, but slightly landscape setup here because of the width of that outer display. All right, we're in and past the initial setup. And yeah, I mean, this feels very similar to using the 10 or the 9 Pro Fold. You've got the camera cutout here for the 10 megapixel selfie shooter. On the front, obviously, we've got a cutout for the 10 megapixel selfie shooter there. 6.3 inch display up front, 120 hertz on both. LTPO displays, I believe. I'll have to do some more research on some of that stuff before we do the actual review on this device. But yeah, it does open up ever so slightly landscape whenever you actually open it up to the inside. Let me get past that. See, this helps see it a little bit, where it's slightly wider, but I mean, it's almost square. So whether you open it up and or flip it into position, you're going to get a similar view both ways, which means you're getting a much larger overall screen real estate than something like the Z Fold 5, Z Fold 6, which have this really thin outer display. And so you definitely get a portrait view here. I'll set them beside each other. They're about the same height, but you can just tell. I mean, it's not even close as far as the width goes. And then when we turn them this way, you're getting much more height from your viewport there as well. So, and it's a foldable. So we got to talk about the crease. And again, let me give you a point of reference here. I use this device all the time, and so I'm very used to it. In this particular layout here, as I'm looking at it, I don't see the crease. Now, if I hold it like this or like that into the light, sure, I see the crease. But when I'm looking at it straight on and I'm using the device, I don't see the crease. However, for the point of this video, I'm going to attempt my best. Let me turn the screen off here to show you the crease. So, I'm trying to think of light. I'm going to kind of bend it around, go up this way. I don't know if we're going to be able to see it. What I can tell you is very, very discernible on this device. So much less discernible. And this is in the worst possible conditions of lighting. So screen is off. I've got a big light shining in and I'm looking at this thing. When I look at these two, it literally is a 100% improvement as far as crease visibility. For some of you, I know that that's a big deal. Like you're like, oh man, I don't want that. That crease is weird. I don't like it in my screen. I'm telling you, when the screen comes on and it looks like this, you can't see a crease. And even when you're scrolling across, like this one is so small, you don't even feel it. So kudos to Google. This hinge mechanism is fantastic. The feel of this device is great. Let's see how it does in multiple setups here. Yeah, so it doesn't have to be any particular amount. Now, obviously, when you get almost open, it does fall over that way. And so for apps like YouTube, for instance, you know, if you cut it in half here, the player will be on the bottom. There you go. The camera, perfect example. So you've got all your controls down here, and then you've got the viewport up there. There's a lot of apps that'll split screen that way. So being able to have them and kind of set it up, especially if you're using this kind of as its own tripod, is a really nice touch. But overall, the build quality of this thing feels impeccable. Honestly, the original Pixel Fold was really good. It had some defects. They fixed like everything, honestly, in the 9 Pro Fold. And so this is just an iteration on that design. And I must say, this is a gorgeous looking device. It scares me to death to carry this around without a case on it. So I probably won't be doing that until Google sends that case over, because this is an expensive device, as all foldables are at this point. But if you're someone who really, really wants the benefits of having both a phone and then a nice large screen tablet at your disposal in your pocket at all times, this could be a device that is of great interest, and along with it, you get those pixel cameras. So I actually pulled up, we can ask Gemini, that'll be fun on camera, exactly what are the specs for the Pixel 10 Pro Fold cameras.
The Pixel 10 Pro Fold has a triple rear camera system, a 48 megapixels wide lens, a 10.5 megapixels ultra wide with macro focus, and a 10.8 MP5X telephoto lens.
So you're getting a 5X telephoto, ultra wide, regular wide angle lens. They're not quite the megapixel count that you get on the Pixel 10 Pro and Pro XL, but what it feels like hardware probably from last year's Pixel devices or something like that. But you know, it's going to be a great camera system for sure. It's a Pixel, so there's a lot of software involved here. So you don't have to get a foldable and think, I'm getting a terrible Pixel or a terrible camera experience, because again, it's a Pixel, and because of the size of that camera hump there, you're not getting any wobble on the desk. Let's see if it wobbles when fully open here. Upper corner is the only thing. So down here, if you were to set it down and use it. And then additionally, who knows, as this whole Android desktop thing is happening, and Chromebooks are transitioning and all this wild stuff's happening in this ecosystem, there could be a time in the next year where this thing can be plugged in and used as like a laptop kind of replacement. So who knows? It's a powerful device, obviously a Tensor G5 inside, 16 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of storage, so there's no problems with performance here. It's going to be plenty fast. The screens look great. The cameras are going to be really great. They're Pixel again, and the form factor and the build quality is really great. I'm looking forward to trying this thing out. Again, I've been in that foldable state of mind for a little bit now, and so I'm really excited to see what life with the Pixel 10 Pro Fold is going to be all about. But guys, that's it for this one. If you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up, head down there, hit that subscribe button, and be sure to ring the notification icon as well if you'd like to be alerted when we make future videos just like this one. Until next time, we'll see you.